So, Coach, are you happy with what you saw on the ice today as far as the effort, as compared to the last game especially?
Yeah, much better effort-wise, both physically and mentally. We're much more structured, and I thought our compete level was where it needed to be. And you're disappointed because you're up 2-0, and they find a way to tie it, which is unfortunate. But one thing you want to do, you're going to have bad nights in this league from time to time, and you want to make sure they don't turn into 2 bad nights in a row. And as we mentioned before the Seattle game, our game was trending in the right direction, and we took a step back, but good sign to see how we responded. Disappointing when you get that second point, but certainly looked a lot more like a hockey team tonight than we did against Seattle.
That's a sign of growth, at least for this team here.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, 82 games, you're going to have some off nights, but our nights can't be that off as they were against Seattle, and you got to move past it quickly, and we did.
What do you think of Mike Hoffman's game tonight? Seemed to fit in well with it.
Yeah, he's not just the goals. I mean, the goal he scored was a direct result of the established forecheck by all 3 of those guys prior to the puck going to that other side, and he was in the right spot, and then he was in the right spot again, and Eki makes a great move to find Hoff in that dot lane.
Any update on Zadina or what happened?
Yeah, it's upper body injury, so not sure where he stands right now.
Where did that happen? I mean, he finished the period, so.
Yeah, just something that's been bothering him, and it just acted up.
What did you think of Eklund's performance today? Obviously, you started him on the off wing, and then when Hoffman moved up, you flipped him back over. Just looked like he was playing with the puck with more confidence today, getting to the center areas like you've been wanting.
Yeah, he played a much more complete game. That's the guy that. That's the player that we need, and he's always got the ability to create some offense. But one of the things that he and I talked about before today, we thought his game was slipping a little bit in the areas that it's going to need to be consistently good. And from a compete and a pace standpoint, I thought his game was slipping a little bit, which can happen, especially when you're a young player learning to grow in the National Hockey League. But that's one thing I always love about him. He's a coachable kid, and once you're talking about something, it's usually done.
What do you thought of Zetterlund today? He had a lot of possible shots on goal, but they were just a little too high.
He's had a great year. I know statistically, I'm sure he wants more, and we'd love him to get more. But you keep playing the way he is, good things will happen for him. He's been relentless all year. You just love his effort and his attitude.
And their first goal, it almost started with that neutral zone play by Zetterlund. If he had just gotten a little deeper and didn't turn around, you got to change. But you just were stuck right after that. Yeah,
it was a tough one. So, hey, that happens in the game. And, they make mistakes, we make mistakes. And, but I liked a lot about our game and his game in particular.
David, on Wednesday, you stopped the game to kind of yell at your team. I mean, I heard.
Didn't work.
Well, yeah, you kind of mouthed the words, wake up, right? And tonight, when they scored when they scored the tying goal, what was the mindset there? Were you tempted to maybe call timeout? Just
No, there was a level of calmness. I mean, it wasn't like they were storming us. They, made a play and it was a bad read. We gave up a 2-on-1, and you can't do that. You can't give up that 2-on-1. All we talked about was F3. We had an offensive opportunity, and through the change of possession, I think we got a little confused. Unfortunately, we didn't recognize a situation quick enough. Our D's just got to get out and get above all 9 guys, and we didn't. We stood and looked at the puck, and it cost us.
What did you think of your power play? It looked arguably like the best it has all season.
100%. It was the best it's been all season, and the pace of it, work ethic. I mean, it was, and I thought what happened was after our first power play, we became more confident as a group, and you can really feed off your power play, and I thought that's what we did at the end of the first period.
That's something you've talked about in the past, feeding off the power play, gaining momentum off it. Felt like this was the first time. Would you say that kind of set the tone for the rest of the game?
Yes, I felt that for sure.
What can you say about the impact of Nico Sturm coming back into the lineup?
Well, it just gives us a strong NHL body who plays honest and does everything you want, and it's good to have him back.
David, you mentioned before the game.
Couple more here.
You mentioned before the game that you might let the leadership core sort of set the tone here before the game. Did you kind of let those guys talk amongst themselves, or what did you hear, or did you end up kind of saying something to those guys?
I mean, we always talk to them. So, I mean, again, I didn't want to overreact to one game, right? I mean, it was bad, but you gotta make sure that it doesn't turn into 2. And that really the only message. It wasn't anything dramatic. It wasn't anything over the top. It was just, okay, let's make sure this doesn't happen again and dust yourself off and move forward.
What do you thought of McKenzie in the net today?
I've thought McKenzie's been great in every game he's been in, so tonight was no different. It was good to see when he give up 400 shots, so that was a step in the right direction.